Hey, girl. Hey. Dear listeners, we need to apologize.
Oh, we're so sorry.
We're so sorry. So what had happened was 2 weeks ago, we were going to record, and then I, for work, had to take the meningitis vaccine. Not that I was exposed, just for safety. It was optional, but I, trusting vaccines, was like, yes, give it to me. When it came time, it ain't the first time I've said that and regret it. When it came time to record, well, first of all, let's go back. Maim was tired because she had to do something. Then I got the meningitis vaccine. Well, we had already planned to move it to the week. Anyway, I got the meningitis vaccine, not thinking it would do anything. I fell out. It was worse than the COVID vaccine. So then, dear sweet Maim, blessed be Maim, got the pneumonia.
Not the pneumonia, honey.
She got the pneumonia.
Not the pneumonia.
And this is the first time recording since she got the pneumonia.
Yes.
And I don't know if she's going to be able to make it through because she's going to be laughing a lot.
We're gonna get through this. We're gonna get through this.
We're gonna get through this.
Oh, we gotta get it through. Wow.
Oh God, yeah, girl. And as you know, I am in land of neither of our peoples, Cherokee, North Carolina.
Speaking of neither of our peoples, I have a thing. I did the 23andMe.
Okay.
So I'm going to find out in like 2 weeks. They're sequencing my genome right now.
Make sure you turn off. So,
oh, Jesus.
I have no people.
I'm going to call you. Your new title is going to be Dame of the Asterisks because.
So, dear listeners, this is for you too. I have some people that found out some things about their family they did not want to find out because 23andMe matches people to their family if you don't opt out of it.
Okay.
And random family members come popping out of nowhere and say, hey, I think you're related to me. And sometimes they're a little more related than what you think. Blink, blink.
I mean, I don't really technically mind considering I don't really know anybody.
That's true. That's true. That's true.
That's half the reason I'm doing this. I had a moment where I was like, you know what? Maybe this could at least show me some part of my father's family. Maybe.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, if they say, hey, I might know you, I mean, I can just block them.
That's true. But
send a picture and drag.
When I was sitting, they'll send you one back and drag.
Girl, then we have a 2-woman show. Yeah.
Sisters from another mother.
Sister. You weren't ready for that one.
I was not. Are you Tia or Tamara? Who was the other one? Tia and Tamara. Tia and Tamara. Which one's the more successful one?
Tia.
Anyway, what was I talking about? Oh, yeah. So I was talking about husband because, I drove up Cherokee today to have a little mecation. And I'm going to go downstairs and gamble after this. I may even get room service.
Oh, stop it.
I know. Bougie ass bitch here.
God. That's more of that executive money right there, honey.
Executive money. But he was like, oh, Mims, you're going to go up to Cherokee and have a Cherokee key. I did this as I walked out the door. Ooh.
That's what we're going to call it. That's officially what we're going to call it from now on.
Whenever I come up here, we record.
You having a Cherokee, honey? Yes.
Yes, queen.
Get your feather dusters.
Well, dear listeners, we have two new patrons.
New patrons.
Thank you, Morgan.
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 Thank you, Cody.
Thank you, Cody.
Thank you, Cody.
Thank you, Cody.
We know Cody.
We know Cody. Yes, we do, Andy.
Hey, girl, Cody. Thank you, Cody.
Lord have mercy. I can't believe we pulled money out of Cody's pocket, Andy. Yes, ma'am. Yes, bam.
Well, speaking of all of this, Maim, did you
Yes.
know that we have a Patreon?
I do now because we
Dear
talked about it.
listeners, if you go to patreon.com, oh, God, Mims and Maim, you can throw us some money. Hey, Maim.
Lord, yes.
Did you know we have another podcast?
No.
Yes. It's called You Slay.
Oh,
I'm
yeah.
swallowing that mic. Me. It is a Murder, She Wrote podcast. Hey, Maim.
Yes.
Did you know we have merchandise?
I did know that. Yes.
Dear listeners, if you go to mimsmaim.com, you can buy some things. Hey, Maim, do you know what I
Mhm.
like?
You love, not like, you love
I love
5-star reviews.
I love 5-star reviews. Dear listeners, let's see if we have any more right now. Anybody?
I mean, we got the perfect kind of 5-star review when they send them that money, honey, and that Patreon.
You know what? That is the. Why you gotta do that to me in the middle of a. Why? Maim just shot an arrow at me, and oh, that feels like a racism since I'm in Cherokee. Maim just.
If I had to look at it, you had to look at it.
Do I know that person?
No.
Okay.
No.
Okay.
No.
Bless.
You know our extended family because you know the cousins of that person because we went to school with them. But
Lord, is it that cousin?
Lord have mercy.
Well, are you ready to get into this very short episode?
Come on, Dolly.
This is season 4, episode 14. The title is longer than the actual episode. This is season 4, episode 14. First day of the last decade of the 20th century, part 2.
I'm Julia Sugarbakers. I'm Julia Sugarbakers. I'm Julia Sugarbakers. I'm Julia Sugarbakers. And that's Marjorie. Just so you will know, and your children will someday know, is the night the lights went out in Georgia. The lights went out. The lights went out. The lights went out. The lights went out. And that is the night the lights went out in Georgia.
I'm sorry, I didn't know.
Well, now you do.
Why didn't they just call it We Got Dolly Parton and stretching it out for 2 episodes?
Girl, why didn't they just call? We had some extra footage on the director's room floor, so we're going to make another episode.
It's like we spent a lot of money on Dolly Parton. We're going to make it worth it.
So the first 8 minutes are a recap.
Yes.
Now, dear listeners, this is a 22-minute episode.
It's the first 8 minutes, the recap? Was it that long?
Yes.
Oh,
yes.
wow.
It was, okay, maybe not 8, but it was over 5.
Yeah.
And, somewhere between 5 and 8. That's still...
It's too long for a sitcom.
Too long. Like, they repeated everything. Let's hurry on and repeat what happened. Charlene's getting ready to have a baby.
Yes, and Charlene had a dream, and in that dream, Dolly Parton came because that's her guardian angel.
Her guardian angel.
Or what is it? I mean...
Her guardian star.
Oh, God. What?
Bernice is on her way in an ambulance.
Bernice is also wearing a Christmas tree skirt as a skirt because Mary Jo got it for her for Christmas, and she thought it was a real skirt, not a Christmas tree skirt.
And we met Vanessa.
Who Anthony is dating?
At least having fun with.
Have fun. Come on, Anthony. You better do that by life, honey. Yes.
That by life.
Sorry.
Girl, ain't nothing by about him.
Sorry. That's true. Vanessa's probably a man. You're right.
Mm-hmm. She dressed like a drag queen.
He did dress like a drag queen.
I mean, I know some drag queens that were that old that dress like that till they retired. I think you know one or two yourself.
I do. I'm thinking about them right now.
Yeah. Yeah, that gold dress, that puffy
That wig, honey.
That wig, and girl, still dressing in that same wig from 1980 because it's a good wig.
I mean, they paid a lot for that wig back in 1980.
They paid $75 for that wig back in 1980. That was a lot of money. That was from Wanda's Wigs Emporium.
Honey, down on South Peach Street.
Mm-hmm. Girl, why'd I just reopen this and that picture's up again?
That's my family. That's my family.
Yeah, that's your family. That's your family. So we're at the hospital.
Okay, we're at the hospital.
And Charlene is in her room. And she's doing and trying to suffer through the pain. She's talking to Mary Jo about a natural childbirth. And the nurse is like, well, I could offer you something for the pain. And has another contraction. She's like, okay, fine, I'll take it. Something for the pain when you're at that stage is, I think it's Demerol or something. It's something to make you wacky is all it does. You won't remember anything, and that is the way it should be.
Give me some. Yummy, give me some.
So my mom, back when she had me, in the Lord's year of 1993, don't say anything.
They must have gave her a lot of Demerol.
Anyway, she was like, she was going to have a natural childbirth. She did. And she was like, well, at the point she was like, okay, fine. I want the epidural. She had been like, I 12 hours in labor because she had some spicy chili that I did not like and made her water break. So she was in the hospital for like 12 hours. And like, they were like, ma'am, it's too long. It's too close. You can't have an epidural now. We give you something for your stomach, for nausea. They gave her a Dramamine. Yeah.
Those were the days. 93 was a great year.
Mary Jo tells this story about her mom making a quilt during labor, blah, 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 whatever.
Oh, stop. It wasn't that bad. These are cute little stories. I mean, they're very... Think of the demographic that's watching this show.
Even the one later where that woman talks about her black Christian cult.
It was not a black Christian. Well, there goes Cody's Patreon. Thanks for that. You're going to have a credit card dispute in just a few minutes. As soon as this is released.
Girl, it takes the money as soon as they sign up for it. My husband, moving on to her, we'll get to her in a few minutes, but we'll talk about her when we get there. Okay, so we're back in the waiting room, and twins are here.
Yes, so cute.
And Suzanne is very upset. This woman is pregnant with twins, and she's farther along than Charlene, and
she's trying to get 2 cars.
Suzanne's like, yeah, I think she's gonna walk away with 2 cars. So then she goes over there and hands her a number just in case she tries to get rid of one of the cars.
The Suzanne's outburst in this episode is really the thing that saves it for me.
Oh, I think Vanessa's do too, because she walks over to the nurse and just goes, hi, do you have any Demerol?
That seems like something that we do.
It's true. So we're back in the room, and Charlene is high as a fucking kite.
She is.
And she's talking about Olivia, her new girl, and like going on.
They're like, how do you know it's a girl?
Because Dolly Parton told her.
What, Charlene? What are you talking about? Dolly Parton? When did you talk to her?
Well, Jean Smart's got one eye rolled back, and we can't really talk to her anymore. So we see Julia walking around this hospital in the maternity ward, and Mary, she finds Miss Minnie Ward, 102-year-old black woman.
102 years old.
At the time, she was only in her 70s. That's why they had to keep the lights so dark.
That lady was only in her 70s?
Yes! She
Wow.
plays Anthony's mother in later episodes.
Stop it.
I looked it up.
Oh my God.
That's why it's so dark in that room.
Couldn't they find where was Cicely Tyson? Was she doing something at the time? This is right up her alley.
She was probably in her 60s playing 200 years old.
She did play that when she was Miss Jane Pittman. I remember.
I know.
This lady was trying to get her Cicely Tyson on. She was hoping.
It wasn't working. I'm sorry. She outlived all of her children.
Mm-hmm.
She's from Brownsville, Tennessee.
Mm-hmm. Subtle,
very subtle, very subtle. We'll pan back to her in a little bit because Julia's very impressed that she found a black woman who's 102 years old. Right?
Yes.
She
thought her family had killed them off.
Not as impressed as Linda Bloodworth Thompson is with herself for writing this character, but
Julia's like, my grandpappy told me that they all died.
In that little minor skirmish we had.
But you're here. You survived. How about that?
I thought we got you in the Great Depression.
And it was the Depression and then the racism and then
Damn.
You made it this far.
LBJ really did do something.
Right? Good gracious. You made it a long way.
Oh, God.
You must have some happy stories. Oh, no, they're not. None of them are happy. Okay. Got it.
Oh, no, we'll get to that in a minute. I have some opinions on this woman.
I can't wait for these opinions.
Oh, God. So we're back in the waiting room. We find out Charlene's going into delivery.
Finally.
So, and they're like, Julia and Vanessa have disappeared. Suzanne's like, I wonder if they're going to, like, you know, if they're together with each other, because they don't really seem to get along. They seem like kind of opposites.
Yes.
Well, Julia's back with Manny.
Hi, Miss Manny.
And her father started the Colored Baptist Church.
Oh.
And her husband, not liking her very much, died during the Great Depression.
Well, you know, it probably was her stories.
Was.
He was like, it's like the lady on, it's like the guy on Airplane, and he's like talking to all the people, and everybody's like poisoning themselves and hanging themselves.
Oh, God. So we're in the countdown to midnight now, girl. And we only have like a page and a half left in this episode. So this is a very quick episode of Mims and Maim. Do you have anything you want to talk about in the interim before we keep going? Like, we're about halfway through the episode already.
You know, can we just talk a little bit, especially in the 80s? I just wanted us to take a minute because that's actually a good thing to bring up. How many of these kind of like old black folks would show up in all of these different programs like Punky Brewster and all of these shows, and it was just like, it's just so strange to me now when I think about it, because I don't think we could do this now. Could you imagine?
You mean Morpheus?
No. I don't mean like Morpheus. I mean like these old.
You mean Samuel Jackson?
Yeah, but he doesn't do stuff like this. Like
In
he doesn't
Star
play
Wars?
characters like this, where they're talking about the past and talking.
Well, okay,
about
so the trope is the magic black person, right? And that is
the magic black person.
Yeah, that's what it is called. It is a white people trope that, you know, in white people shows that a wise old black person, a la. No, it's not Morpheus. It's the gatekeeper in Matrix, the old woman.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. I mean, of course, the Wachowski siblings didn't have an original thought. I mean, they had a lot of original thoughts, but it was
not that one.
Not that one. Their plot devices are never original.
Yeah.
But like, it's in a lot of media where there's a wise black person.
Black
Or
person.
now it's moved on to Asian people, right?
And Latin people.
And
There's
Latin
like
people.
abuelas and things like that that
Right.
become.
Speaking of, have you seen Encanto?
Oh my gosh, dear listeners, I've seen Encanto now.
The pneumonia made her see Encanto.
Sorry, coughing. I had so much free time this week because I really couldn't do anything that I finally watched Encanto.
Did you like
and
Encanto?
I thought it was great.
Good.
I thought it was great. Yeah, I did.
Girl,
I thought it was great.
I've got a question for you.
A
Very
lot.
important question for you.
Yeah.
Do you have any childhood trauma that could be intergenerational, maybe?
What don't I have?
There you go. Yeah. So, yes, I
Childhood trauma, teenage trauma, young adult trauma.
Then my husband and I, after we heard that Maim watched it, after a night of drinking, we went home and watched it again. And we're like analyzing it as it was going through. And my husband did have a very interesting point about it. The majority of the gifts are curses.
Yeah.
They are burdened with this shit.
Yeah. I mean,
Healing, strength, and talking to animals. Those are the three good ones.
Now, it's funny. So while Mims and her husband were watching Encanto for another time, me and my husband decided to watch Streetcar Named Desire, which my husband is very still new to old Hollywood. He never watched a lot of it. So we've been sort of piecemealing it and getting into stuff.
And that's where you're starting?
Oh, no, we've been at this for a bit now.
Okay.
And, as everyone is probably aware that at least knows old Hollywood, like that was Marlon Brando at his most attractive.
Beautiful.
And
beautiful.
I didn't prepare him at all for the trajectory of the movie. I just let him take it all in. He was not okay he was like, wow, that took a turn.
Has he watched any of the screwball comedies like His Girl Friday or okay?
Yeah, we've been doing those too.
Bring It Up, Baby.
Because I have the Criterion channel, so it's like
what's the other one?
It's the what Philadelphia Story?
Yeah, how'd you know the third one I was thinking of?
That is because of the first two you gave me.
Yeah, those are about three favorites. Like the old Hollywood, I prefer a comedy to something serious. That's me, but there are some serious
funny
ones.
You know what genre he is really attached himself to. It's really interesting.
What?
Because I didn't do this, right? We were just watching them as they come. He is also drawn into film noir like I am.
Have y'all watched South by Southwest yet? Is South by Southwest or North by Northwest?
North by Northwest. I know what you meant. Yeah, no. He actually bought like a Hitchcock Blu-ray collection.
Ooh, fun.
I know.
Y'all still use Blu-rays. That's insane.
Well, the thing is, okay.
Going back to the magic black person.
Black person. Speaking of magic black people, did you hear about the reception at CinemaCon to the first images and stuff from the Color Purple musical?
No.
Girl.
Okay.
It sounds like it's going to be something.
Okay, good.
Like Oscar something. Like they're releasing it on Christmas Day something.
So my husband didn't realize that Ariel in the new Little Mermaid, her hair is red dreads.
Oh, he didn't know that?
He did not know that. He just thought, because he saw only a couple of the posters, not any of the close-ups, just thought it was poorly animated red hair, which in some of the pictures, it just looks like poorly animated red hair.
I don't know how to feel about this movie.
I
honestly.
don't know either.
I've heard so many things. Like I've heard that it's going to be the longest Disney movie ever.
God.
Like they said the runtime is going to be literally the longest Disney movie ever produced. I don't know. The picture I saw of what's the name? Sebastian, the crab and Flounder. People have been making fun of it, and I feel the same way. I'm like,
okay, so controversial, brave opinion. I think Flounder looks fantastically derpy because if you look at the original Flounder, he was fantastically derpy. It is a human face on a fish.
No,
and his character is a derp.
Well, I think for me, it's just I need to see it moving because these like the only few images they've done now. I'm like, what's happening?
Have you watched any of the live action ones? We made it through 5 minutes of Beauty and the Beast, and we're like, nope.
No, I watched the only one I watched. 'Cause, yeah, I didn't watch Beauty and the Beast either. I did watch The Jungle Book. I liked that one. I thought that one was
Okay.
actually not bad. It wasn't because it's different,
Okay.
right? Like and I think that's so. What I've heard about this movie, and they said that this is why they're kind of like really wanting people to pull away a little bit more,
Mm-hmm.
is because they said that this movie is actually going to be almost not entirely, but strongly based on the Broadway musical. Not and so they're basically been saying like this over and over again, like they want people to stop equating the animated movie to this because it's not really like it's a remake, but it's not a remake because the musical on Broadway is it's got a lot of stuff that's kind of different about it.
So we were watching an anime. Speaking of magic black people,
I've been watching a lot of those this week.
So we were watching one. Is it Skip and Loafer, something like that? It's
Where do you find these? You always mention, as much as anime as I watch, you always find ones I've never heard of.
It's running live in parallel with Japan on Crunchyroll.
Okay.
It's a slice of life about a smart girl who goes to college or goes to finish high school in Tokyo because she wants to become a politician. And she's very plain and very smart, but very plain, and a very attractive boy who just falls in love with her immediately. And I think it's Skip and Loafer. Loafer's the second word. But in one of the episodes, they go, because for their English class, they have to go watch an English film. And the English film that they watch is the one and only Scarlett O'Hara.
Stop it.
And they say it what's the name of that damn movie leaving my mind?
Gone with the Wind.
Gone with the Wind, thank you. I was getting ready to Google. I'm like, no, let me just
I thought you were just doing a bit.
No, I was, but then I was like, I'm actually having a moment because it's gonna bother me till I look at it. Anyway, so Gone with the Wind, and then they said, as they're leaving the movie, this movie is still relevant today. In today's society. So Julia's back in the waiting room, and we have a countdown to midnight. Vanessa runs in with a mask on her face and says, "Look, I'm on oxygen." To which Suzanne says, "She's about to get on my nerves." Not getting on my nerves, about to get on my nerves. That's how you know somebody's real annoyed with somebody.
Especially a Southern woman.
Especially a Southern woman.
They're going to give you like 2 chances to say something.
10, 9, 8, blah, 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 blah. Happy New Year, Bernice is rolling in. Still hold on to that glass of eggnog.
I love her so much.
I know. She's great. She's
like, this is like one of her best episodes.
And that's so sad. It's such a trash episode. Oh, God. Well, Charlene is officially in delivery, and Bernice thinks Vanessa's Tina Turner.
Well, I mean, she got Tina Turner's hair.
She does. She does. And her gold dress.
Yeah. I mean, it's not a stretch.
She does not have her insured legs, though.
No. What was it, $1 million back then?
Yeah. I mean, they're perfect. Like, Tina Turner's legs are fucking perfect. I wonder if Michelle Obama ever had her arms insured.
Jeez. I don't know. You
have to feel bad for Michelle Obama because there for a while, she was every white person in Iowa's magical black person.
She was.
She was.
It was like people felt like they had like a piece of her when they won the White House.
Yep.
You would see it on white ladies' faces. Like they would just look at her like, I'm like.
And okay. Oprah was it for years too.
Man, Oprah was everyone's magic black person.
I
watch Oprah. Remember that was a thing when when women kind of like wanted to deflect anything. They'd be like, I watch Oprah. I'm not racist.
I got mixed feelings about Oprah.
Everybody does it.
She brought Dr. Oz into this world, and
Yeah,
Dr. Phil.
I was trying to explain to my husband because I didn't tell you this. We've gotten he has gotten hooked on a show called Rock the Block. Have you heard of this show? It's on HGTV.
Great.
And what it is basically it's like self-promotion. So HGTV puts like 4 teams of their like TV hosts, like all the different shows the 1,000 shows that they have, and they're given like a big budget and a blank house, and they have to redo the house. So the season that he got me to watch with him, he was like, "Oh, there's a gay couple on there," and I was like, "Oh, okay." Right. And then when we started watching it, it was what's his name? It was Nate. Remember that Oprah found that was like her home decorator guy? And yeah. And I was like, oh, that's so great. I'm glad to see him doing something. I didn't know that, I didn't know he did anything. He was like, because my husband doesn't know anything pop culture wise. He's like, what do you mean? I was like, he was one of Oprah's chosen ones.
Yeah.
And he looked at me like, wait, I was like, like Dr. Phil, Dr. Oz. I was like, he was in that league. Like he was of like and so then he just looked at me like, oh, he was like, but he seems so nice versus the other one.
Charlatans are nice. Like Dr. Oz comes off very nice, just out of touch.
Super
and
nice.
Republican.
He seems super nice.
Yeah.
But that was it was actually a pretty. I mean, it's an okay show actually. It's funny because
you've said actually a lot, which means it's probably not that good.
No, I mean it's just depends. It's like it's very specific for people, right? Like I know that that's not everybody's thing. It's not even my thing, but I thought that their banter, all the different teams' banter was funny.
Did they have those two? That couple from Mississippi, the husband and wife. Girl, they're they're pro-gay.
No, I'm saying like I don't know.
He's a Methodist minister, and they're pro-gay. Unlike the people from Magnolia who never touched a gay person in their life.
Which is weird because you saw that they got invited to the State House dinner the other day. I was surprised by that.
Probably the South Koreans love them.
Oh, you're right. Yeah, that's probably what it was. Oh, wait, actually, I think she's like half Korean. Maybe that's why they got invited.
Okay.
Because I think she's half Korean.
Okay.
On her mom's side. That probably is it. Now that I think about it, I don't know.
I've had a little Korean in me.
How was that mandu?
Full of black beans.
What that mandu?
Anyway, you know that story. Girl, don't cough at me.
Sorry, my lack of oxygen is starting to show.
Well, Suzanne's falling asleep and she has a dream where they're all babies.
This was so weird.
Yes. There's a joke. Charlene loves her little bracelet she's got on, and Suzanne makes a joke about how she's going to need that later because cheap jewelry. And Anthony doesn't like the bars, and Julia doesn't like the nurse because she keeps on putting the thermometer up her butt. And there's a little car out front, and Suzanne's like, that's mine. That's my car. That's my car. And Bernice just comes and takes the car away, and it's something.
It was a lot of stuff. I did once again. Bernice stole the show.
Yes. And the car.
And the car. Oh, poor Anthony. Poor Anthony. It was weird though, because I mean we're in later seasons now, and it was just strange where Suzanne's like, why is he here? I was like, really?
Well, now it did make sense because he's a boy. He didn't say anything about black.
But no, I was saying like they're in a nursery. Is there separate nurseries for boys and girls?
I don't know. I don't feel like
I haven't been to
there will be now.
I mean, I haven't been to a nursery since I used to work on that floor at the hospital. Those are good days.
Well, Bill just took off.
Won't you marry me, baby?
And we're back to Minnie.
Back to Minnie. Happy
We-
New Year.
Yeah, we find out one son's died in Normandy. Their church didn't allow dancing.
Yes.
Then she tells her full life story.
I would have liked to have danced. It's like,
And gone to Europe. And Anthony looks at her and goes, "You are the 20th century." Sorry, there's a music cue. Somewhere out there.
That's when it got to me.
beneath the pale moonlight. This song
80s kids are so triggered by that song.
This song is only 2 years old at this point.
Yeah.
And they use their Dolly Parton money to have her sing a verse in it.
Yeah. Yeah. It was amazing.
Well,
that's when I started crying when Dolly did her part.
So Minnie's dead.
Wait, what?
They pan around and Mary Jo just looks annoyed. Like if you look at her face, she's like, "I have to stand here
Like, I
for
don't
how
wanna do
much
this.
longer
I
and
don't wanna
keep
do
this face on?"
episode.
Yeah.
I really don't want to do this episode.
Well, Olivia's here. So that baby done took that black woman's soul.
That's what happened. She jumped out of that lady, and now Charlene's gonna have a sassy little girl, and she's not even gonna be sure why.
So Bill does a flip in the air. He does a little corkscrew in the air when he hears about it. Yeah. And then
like
then it pans to Dolly and Minnie walking down the hallway. However, I don't know if you noticed, but the definition changed to even worse than usual. So I'm not exactly sure if this was even Dolly, because you do not see her face till she's at the full other side of the hallway. Now, however, I do want to point something else out. Dolly takes a left and goes off screen, leaving Minnie in front of the elevator to either heaven or hell. And Minnie does not go into this elevator. She, in fact, just fades away.
I still
Hey, Maim.
I still want to discuss this real quick before we jump to that, because I thought that of everything that happened in this very ridiculous episode, that was the weirdest moment.
Well, Minnie went to hell.
What do you mean she went to hell?
Well, she didn't go to heaven. That's where the elevator goes. So where'd she go?
How do you know the elevator's going to heaven?
Well, actually, she probably just went to purgatory. That's probably where she went, because because she didn't go either up or down. She just sort of stayed and disappeared.
But the thing, okay, and this is my only complaint, right?
Oh, I got complaints.
I know, but it just seemed like why wouldn't they just both walk through the doors at the end?
I know. Why didn't Dolly take her with her? Why didn't Dolly take her to the elevator and open it for her? Why did Minnie just disappear? Girl, also, my husband made a good point. All these people if you listen to Minnie's life story, all of her children ran away from her because she's probably insufferable.
They didn't run away. One of them went into the military.
One of them in the military and died. Okay.
One of them became a teacher.
One became a teacher, moved to far away. The other
That's
one
what
moved,
you're supposed to do.
The other one moved far away.
That's what you're supposed to do. In those communities,
You're supposed to move farther north, not farther back to the south.
Oh,
You ain't going from Brownsville, Tennessee, down to Mississippi. Let's just put it that way.
yeah, that's true. Actually,
I mean, you're moving to Chicago.
that's true. Oh, that's true. None of them were up north, were they?
No. Not unless you're trying to run away from that horrible woman.
She's not. Please stop saying that.
I
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, honestly, we're both well aware. We're both well aware of what life was like back then.
It's true.
I am a bit more aware, at least from the perspective of Minnie and her family.
Yes,
and
I respect that part.
I mean, it was a terrible time, and that was the thing that
Her husband had to die to get away from her.
You're just being mean. You're just
Just
being
remember, she plays Anthony's mother in 2 episodes later on. It's okay.
so
Minnie comes back to life.
mean.
Maybe that's what happened. Maybe they put her in that magic time capsule so we could see her as Anthony's mother later on. Did you find yourself in Miss Georgia World?
It's still Dolly Parton.
It's still Dolly Parton.
Hasn't changed from the last episode.
Even if it's Dolly's stunt double, it's still
Right.
her.
It's still that whoever that petite lady was wearing that dress. God bless you, drag queen.
Maim,
Good job.
I've got a very important question.
Yeah.
Did you like this episode?
All right.
Did you like it more than me?
Yes.
Okay,
I did
good.
like it
I'm
more
proud
than
of you.
It wasn't like a great episode. It was just like it. Once again, I don't think this should have been a 2-parter. I think it could have been just as effectively done in one episode.
Right.
This to me, if I thought, because we always have to do things in context, right? So
Mhm.
like to me, if I had to go backwards in time, this felt more like a 1-hour special episode. More than like mating. People had to wait another week for this.
Yeah.
Like,
I mean, I will. I'm going to put it to you this way, and I'm going to be blunt.
no, you blunt.
This is
What?
the worst episode
Ever?
of the show. Yes, this is the
No.
The last one was
no.
okay. This one was the
This is-
worst.
No.
It is
I
complete.
disagree.
It is all over the place. It makes no sense. There is a weird fever dream. You have a possession of a baby by a dead woman. Because no, that's what happens. That's what happens. Minnie goes up, and then her soul disappears to go into Olivia. I can't understand you, pneumonia voice. We figured it out.
We didn't figure out anything. This is all you.
I hate this episode so much. It's
But you've
so
said that
bad.
about other episodes.
Yes, I know, but this one's worse than the other ones I said I hated. Even he's fat America.
This is not worse than that episode. Absolutely not. I don't disagree with you about a lot of things. It is not worse than it. Not at all. At all.
Okay, fine. I just felt like, okay, there's also the other side that I felt like this was just one huge racism the entire way through. As soon as Minnie came on that screen, it felt like a white person trying to, explain what happened without ever mentioning what happened. Let me throw this in there too. She mentions her struggle once for like 2 seconds, like, oh, and the rest was just hunky-dory. Oh, I was black in the South, and it was rough when I was younger. But, the 50s, 60s didn't happen.
Who wrote this episode?
Linda Blower Thompson.
There you go.
But, like, that is unforgivable, Maim. Unforgivable.
I didn't say that the content wasn't terrible. I'm just saying the episode
And the lighting. We don't get to see how young she actually is till the very end of the episode, where she's glowing in that fake Dolly's dress.
I felt like just now you were totally channeling Celeste Talbert in The Office, yelling at the producer of the show. What is this horseshit? David, you're not going to make a grandmother out of me. I've still got my looks.
Maim, why don't you tell our dear listeners where they can find you? I will say this horse shit of an episode, I think made for pretty captivating listening from us.
You're not going to stick me in bed with him again. Not that John Farbstein again with the yellow teeth and the brown nose hairs. No.
Maim,
Sorry.
where can they find you? Where can they find you, Maim? Can they find you?
Hello, everybody. Give me a second. John Farbstein. Okay. I can get this out.
It is I, your Auntie Maim. You can find
Hold
me
on.
online.
I'm trying to not cough. That's the problem right now. It's caught on my throat. Remember, I still have pneumonia. Just, So, hello, your Auntie Maim, your favorite relation. You can catch me, hosting the amazing Colossal Karaoke Show at Killy Rydell in South Beach, Miami. You can also hear me on the It's Happening Out television network, which you can find on YouTube and various sources if you search for It's Happening Out. It's a weekly talk show. You can find me hosting the Black Market, which is a bi-monthly cool event that happens in downtown Fort Lauderdale. Lots of places to catch me. And finally, at my home theater, Villain Theater in downtown Miami, you can find us performing improvised comedy and stand-up. So just look it up at villaintheater.com. How about you, Mims?
Hey, y'all. I'm the Divine Miss Mims. You can find me online on the socials at Divine Miss Mims. Hey, Maim.
Yes.
Did you know that we have a Patreon?
I did. So did other people.
If you go to patreon.com, Mims and Maim, you can throw some money. Thank you, Morgan.
Thank you, Morgan.
Thank you, Cody.
Thank you, Cody. Thank you.
Hey, Maim.
Yes.
Did you know we have another podcast?
What?
If you are looking for new podcasts to listen to, I got a little confused there for a second. Look for You Slay Me. It's a Mercy Row podcast. Hey, Maim.
Don't have a stroke yet. Yes.
Did you know we have merchandise?
What?
If you go to Mims and Maim, MimsMaim.com, you get max headroom for you. MimsandMaim.com, you can buy some stuff. Hey, Maim.
Yeah?
Do you know what I love?
You love 5-star reviews.
That's right, dear listeners. If you like listening to this crazy ass shit, why don't you throw us a 5-star review?
And tell your friends about us.
And tell your friends or your
People
enemies.
genuinely like us. They like us.
They really like us. Union. Hey, Maim, do you have anything else to add?
I don't think my lungs can handle it much more.
Then just say goodnight, Maim.
Good night, Maim.
Bye, y'all.